abandon something! Really do. Welcome back to the garage. Whether it's good morning, good afternoon or good evening, I have no idea. But we are doing another video on Alan today. So some of you may have noticed that I do have a reversing camera on the number plate light of Alan, but unfortunately it's hanging off. It doesn't fit very well and it's not wired up anyway. So I'm going to replace the number plate light with lots of LEDs, because that will give me a much better coverage of lights on the actual number plate. And I have a plan for this. I mean, look at that. It should not be like that. It's not screwed in one side. So I have a plan. And my plan is, can I somehow adapt it and make it fit up here? Can I cut and make that fit up there? So then I've got a high level reversing camera. So the first few things we've got to do, we have to remove that one. We have to put in the new LEDs. And then we have to see if we can remove that light. No. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Put the LEDs in. Make sure the camera works, and then we're going to go and see if we can stick it up at the top. No point doing it if the camera don't work, is there? Right, let's have a look at the LEDs that I've got. These are the lovely LEDs that I've decided to buy. As you can see, there's numerous little SMDs. I think there's 18 or so in each one of them. And you just put these feet out so they make sure they touch on the inside of the actual lens unit where it sits, and then they're going to power up nicely. So let's get the old ones pulled out and get the new ones put in to make sure they work before we continue. So as you can see by them lights, the side lights are currently on, but the number plate is not lit up in any way, shape or form, so probably the bulbs are gone anyway. I'll just drop one of them lights. That's never a good start. So we're going to quickly get the screws out, unscrew them, and then get the new ones in place. Getting the number plate out was a little bit fiddly. I took my board off so I could feed the wire back through and get it back through the hole. Excuse the wind. New number plate lights are in place and are working. They was a bit fiddly again because of how they fit in the holder. I had to bend the prongs, keep bending them until they made a good secure fit so they now work. Yeah, I had to disconnect a couple of these just to give me a bit of hand, to get more room to get my hand in, shall I say. So then we have one camera. I'm hoping I can just you know, make that fit, because my plan is to mount it up here on the other door. I want to cut it all off somehow, and yeah, I don't know, but we need to make sure it works first, because probably dropping it probably don't help, but you know. So we need to get some wires plugged into the head unit and get some power connected to the camera, and fingers crossed we should be able to hopefully get a signal, which means then it works, and then we can go from there. So I have the reversing camera set up to a 12 volt like signal from the battery charger, which should work, but for whatever reason it's not working. You've got power to the camera, but the camera's not on. Got the video cable going all the way up into the back of the dash, and as you can see on the screen it says no signal. So I'm not having any signal at the moment, and I'm not 100% sure why. I don't know if it's to do with the battery charger or not. So I'm going to pull this panel off and connect it actually into the reverse light and see if that signal from the reverse light makes it any different. If not, then the camera doesn't work. I have tapped the wire into the reverse light feed. As you can see, I have my reverse light on. So that has now got 12 volts instead of whatever it gets from the battery charger, because it must not be enough amperage or something. Plugged it into the camera, and if we come back round to the dashboard, you will see we have a working camera. Ta-da! I have to admit the quality isn't fantastic, but we have a working camera, and that means I can see behind. It means I can go ahead and do my build. But that means now I need to I tried to tap it into these wires there. They're not actually connected, because this grey wire here is supposed to be for the reverse light, and obviously that's not, is tapped into the reverse light, so that doesn't work, hence why I've had to go into there. So now it means I need to run a set of wires into them set of wires so I can power the camera. I've got to run the wires up through the door, and I've got to come all the way up to here. So I'm going to start by I think the first thing I should do is actually take that brake light out and see if there's a way of mounting that camera onto there. There's no point running the wires if I can't do it. So what do we need? some Torx bits, and we shall get the light out. So here is the light from the van. Now there's a bit of extra material here that I may be able to obviously stick my camera on and run a cable through. Being very gingerly to do said thing. I'll take the lens off anyway. So I think it's already been apart when someone's painted it, because they've not dyed it, what's the word, tinted it, that's what they've done. Right, so we have the lens and we have our camera, which is actually that way round because that's how it sits in the van. So I need to make sure that this camera somehow sits angled correctly. So yeah, there's a bit of tape on here. Is that holding the camera together? Now I need to split the camera apart. So what I've done is snapped off the mounting bracket. I've drilled a couple of holes. I started really small as well, not to break anything, so drilled a couple of holes in the plastic, lined it up with the reflector, so obviously I've ended up putting 2 self-tappers in. That's holding that tight. Now I need to just somehow glue this back together, and then there we go, I'll have my reversing camera that faces downwards. Then I've just got to run all the wires. And there we have one high level reversing camera. How good it's going to be, I don't know, it's homemade, but once the tiger seal's dry, the electrical tape won't need to be on anymore, but keeping it in place while it dries. I've got the wire running out here. I'm hoping that I can just trim it, not trim it, but you know, put it underneath the part where it mounts, so we'll find out shortly. For the last time I have just tested that it works, same way I did before, just run the wires into reverse and put the ignition on and it works, and I can see, and it's the right way around, which is great. So I have took the top panel off now. I have fed this wire through the hole and come straight down, which has come down this channel, not that you can see it, but then it came out this hole, which is great. So I'm going to need to make sure I've got enough wire in that door to come all the way out. I now need to disconnect my video cable and do the exact same thing, run it down from the top, run it across there, and then I'm going to end up running the wires through that bit, through that bendy bit, and then into this side panel. And then I'm going to take it from the side panel up into the roof, I think, somehow. Yeah, pulling that out, going straight up for there, straight across down there, because obviously the door's going to be in the way, and then down the A-pillar. The power, I don't need to do that, sorry, that's the video. Just the power is going to connect into the light down here. The video will go up and over, and I don't know if my wire is going to be long enough, so I might have a join somewhere in it, because I only bought 5 metre, and that's probably not long enough. Not when you include that stretch across the door, and yeah, so my wire is going to be short. So somewhere in the roof I'll have to connect another one into it. Right, I'm going to get cracked on and pull the video cable through there as well, and I shall update you accordingly. So here we have our camera. I've filed grooves for the wires to run to the inside of the camera, inside of the light. I'm hoping it's not going to get any water in the van. It's pretty well shielded up there from the spoiler, so fingers crossed. Ow, I just banged my knee. So now I'm just going to connect the wires and put it in, and then it's just a case of then running the wires in the rest of the van. Well, I hope it's going to work how I envisioned. There is my camera. It's very discreet, you can't really see it up there. Again, I've just loosely connected some wires into the reverse light, and we are going to go and have a look what the actual screen looks like. I know the camera is the correct way around because I've already tested that, but I've not actually tested how it actually looks. So ignition on, we're already in reverse, so it should go straight to the screen. Yeah, it's a bit high, that. Oh dear me, can't even see the floor. Although saying that, I am I couldn't now because I can open the door. Yeah. Don't know if I've got any adjustment in this. I don't think I have. I think I'm just gonna have to learn of how far these lines are to how far away they actually are, because obviously this is designed to be a lot lower. So my camera idea worked, but the angle of it is wrong, and there's not a lot I can do to change that at the moment. So I'm gonna put it all back together anyway, because I need to run all the wires, and at some point I may have to get a different camera, maybe a better quality one, but at least my wires will be run. At least for now, I'll be able to actually reverse, and I can actually see where I'm reversing, where before I couldn't see anything. So, you know, it is an improvement. It's just, I can't see my bumper, and that's what I want to see. I want to be able to see, like, the edge of my bumper, or a lot closer to my bumper. So, them red lines that you saw on the screen, like the very first line, is a full door width away from the van. So as long as I know that if whatever I'm reversing to that red line, I know I'm going to be a full door width away, which is again not a bad thing, because then that means I can open my door. So I see, it's quite clever, that, really. So we're doing things, yeah. Now I just need to hide all the wires. But at least my wires are run for when I do decide that at some point I'm going to end up changing it. Because I probably will, mainly because I probably want a better quality one, but it does what I set out for it to do, kind of. And that's a win in my book. Disclaimer, I'm going to get frowned upon by some people, but I've run the wires down here, across there, through there, out there, into there, because there's no way through that freaking channel. And then I run it to the grommet, and I tried my hardest to get any of the wires through the grommet. I could not get them through the grommet, through this bit, so I've cut a snippet hole in there, run it down the side, tie wrapped it on with enough slack that it can obviously bend like it should do with the rest of the rubber trunking. So there's enough slack there, as you can see. Just turning that tie wrap round, so it looks neat. I tried, it's just too thin. He's just too thin to get that thick freaking video cable through. So then I've done another snippets underneath, so it's still watertight. Pulled the power cable back through into the hole, and I've attached it into the wiring for the reverse light. So we have the grey and black, which is the earth, and then you have the green and black, which is the actual power for the reverse light. Remember, guys, that this is the 2008 Transporter, technically a T5. It doesn't have canvas, so I can wire it in there. If you had a canvas like T6, maybe in the 5.1s, I don't know if they are, you'd have to wire it in a different way. Otherwise it's probably going to throw a code up saying there's a bulb out. But it's not going to do that on this one because it doesn't have canvas for the bulbs, which is great. Makes life a little bit easier. So then I'm just going to push that back in there, I can put the light back on, and then all my wires are in there. So then I can actually put everything tucked in there, run that cable up there and get that panel on and start getting a neat van. And I don't think, well, I know this cable's not going to reach because that's all I've got left. So there's definitely going to be a join somewhere in the roof when I get another wire. So anyway, let's get all this nice and neat and tidied. So the wiring for the actual power to the camera is all tucked away now in its light. Put all the stuff in that back in. The 5 meter cable, which starts there, runs through that door, runs around there, runs up here, runs up there and across the roof, ends there. That's how far 5 meters are going to get you. So I'm going to need another like 3-4 meters to get to the front. So that's something for you guys to learn. 5 meters is not enough. I want to get the panel back on. I think that'll probably, I don't know if I've got a cable long enough to get to the front, so I'll probably have to go get you guys back when I get into the front of the cabin. But I'm going to get the wall back on now because I don't need to be in there for anything at the moment. So I have the RCA leads run all the way to the front, and obviously they go into the back of the head unit. Now I want this head unit to try and switch across automatically, and originally I was going to use a switch, which when I turn it on, because I'm not in reverse, put it into reverse, I get the signal. But it means I have to use a switch to control it. Don't really want that. So what I've decided to do is trace back the reverse wire, and I've managed to find it there. This one there. I thought it was that one originally. It's not. It's that one there, which is the more green with a black stripe, where the other one's black with a green stripe. So it's not that one. It's the green with black stripe wire. So I'm going to tap into just there, run another wire all the way down here, and connect it onto the pink in the back of this head unit. That means then when I go into reverse, it will automatically switch over. Because if I don't and leave it on the switch, if I come out of reverse, put the switch back on, it's waiting for the signal, and that will stay there all the time. I don't want it to do that. I just want it to switch over automatically. So I'll leave the switch there. Could use a switch for something else later down the line. I have a message. So yeah, I'm going to run another wire all the way along and into this pink wire. So I'll quickly get that attached there, and I'll run it down, and then I'll pull the pink out, and I'll show you, and yeah, we'll get that connected up and that'll work just how I wanted it to work. That's brilliant. I have a wire tapped in up there now. This is up out of the way most of the way. Need to just secure it a bit more up there. Tucked in all the way down there, which will all be hidden by the pillar cover. The wire comes in here, and as you can see, it comes to here. Now, it is a twin cable, but obviously I only have one connected. That's all the cable I've got in the garage at the moment, so twin cable it is. Plus, if I ever need that lead connected up there for something, then I can do. So we're now connected into there. I'm just going to try and drop this back into the hole enough to hold it like that. Put the ignition back on. We're obviously onto the radio at the moment. The switch thing doesn't do anything because I've disconnected the wires that I'd originally wired in. So they're not connected to anything. Theoretically now we should go to reverse camera. Yeah! We did a thing. And then back out. Awesome. We now have a automatic switching reverse camera, which is freaking sweet. I just wish the camera aimed a bit lower, but you know, you can't have everything. Well, you can. I'm going to buy another one, but you know, all the wiring's done for when that new one comes, so that when that new one does actually get here, which I haven't ordered yet, I will just be able to just pull it out, put the new one in. Job's done. I hope it's better quality because it is a bit grainy. Sorry, it is a bit grainy, but I'm not bothered because that camera didn't cost me anything because it was already on the van and it wasn't doing anything. So at the moment we have a camera which is more than we had before, so at least I can see behind me. Awesome! Now I just need to try and put all the dashboard back together. So confession time, guys. The camera that I put on, although it does work, I'm not happy with it because I can't adjust the angle of it. So yes, it does look good. Well, it looks okay, and yes, there is rust above it which I need to sort out, but I'm not happy with it, so I ended up going on eBay anyway and buying one of the cameras. Now one was an offer for 60 quid, 65 quid down to 40 something, 43, 45. So here we have the kit that I bought off of eBay. So we have a different set of wiring, which I was a bit concerned about because I was like, well, I haven't got them wires down the van. Came with that, came with a seal, came with an adapter thing, came with another bit of loom which made me happy. So we pull that out. Here we have the brake light. We have a camera which is adjustable. That makes all the difference. So I have to wire that into the van's wiring for the brake light. This came with this adapter, thank God, to turn that plug into that. So I need to snip that off, connect the positive, just like I've done in the previous camera, onto there, positive and negative onto there. I can plug the video lead into there, and I just need to wire that brake light in, and then it'll work. Need to attach it in. I think I need to take the old screw mounts or something out of the other light unit, but I'm going to do that anyway. So I'm going to do everything in this video. So you've seen me do all that work, or you've seen me do some work for no reason, but we've run all the wires and the wires are good, so we just need to swap this over. And yes, some of you are going to say this is red and the other one's black, or the other one's tinted, and I will get some nail varnish remover at some point and I'll clean off the tint and it'll be back to red. I prefer the red anyway. I was going to take some of the red back on the lights anyway, leave the black bits on the indicator and the reverse lights, because that's what I like to do. So yeah, let's go and take the light back out and get this attached. I've disassembled the original light to get into the back cover part, which is nope, that's the new one, that's the new one. Alright, so here in my hand, this bit here to get this back cover out, and you push the white bits out, so you're going to need the white bits, and I assume you might need the springs to go into there as well. So now I just need to snip that cable tie, pull the light board out, put these clips in, and then that will allow me to be able to screw it back into the van. All the wires are connected back up. Just going to put a bit of electrical tape over everything and then pop it in. I've just checked the camera works, and the camera does. Checked the brake light work, and that works as well. So sweet. Put it all back together. And then we have the new one in place. I will clean that up at some point, and I might even get a new one because it didn't fit right. But the camera is adjustable. It's already lower than the last one. So let's go and have a look. Allen keys. Ignition on. Ignition on. Touch the radio on. Fine. Across into reverse. Hey! Hey, we have a camera which is actually looking down. I could just see the tow bar there. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. I might just sneak it out just a smidge more, but I don't know if I need to. If I can see the tow bar there. No, I'll leave it like that, I think. Awesome! So there we go. I have finally got a working reverse camera how I want it to work. Thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I hope there might have been something that's useful or you've learned something from this. Make sure you like the channel. No, that's wrong. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content on both my Alan, my T5 Transporter, and Dave, my MR2. Huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you very much. You'll see them at the end of the video. If you're interested in joining my patronage, link will be in the description. Take care, stay safe. We're out of lockdown soon and we can go for a drive. See you soon. Bye. I mended something! Really do.